Hello crafters! This is Suzanne from A Creative Muse, and I'm here with the Dancin Watercolor Celebration Collection. It's 2 packs of printed die cuts. These printed die cuts are like little scenes in and of itself, and they're interactive. But before I start the video where I'll show you my cards and all the ways that you can use these fabulous layering die cuts too, because they do layer, I just wanted to remind you, Kit Club is now open from now until the 27th of April for new subscriptions. I will link my Kit Club reveal video here. Please take a look. In that video, I'll detail this card in particular, which is 7 Kit Clubs out of 10 on this card. 7 clubs. Look at this. So love it. So definitely check that out. It's a fabulous Kit Club again this month. I will also put a link in this video for clearance because there's all sorts of goodies in clearance. Alrighty crafters, let's get into this video because I did shop my Spellbinders stash to make 5 cards. Let's get started. Okay, crafters, look at this. 2 large craft stacks storage trays. And I so love craft stacks too. I will link my craft stacks review video here so you can take a look. I love these. This is the large tray. There is also a medium tray. 2 medium trays can interlock on top of this. And these are stacking trays, super sturdy. And this is what I'm keeping these Dancin Watercolor Celebration printed die cuts in. Because this is how I received it, in just regular packaging, okay? So I had to have a place to sort it out. So these are the 2 collections. The one on the right here, this is the all year round, probably more spring, summer. This one is called the Dancin Watercolor Celebrations Printed Die Cuts. This is 48 pieces. This one is called Dancin Watercolor Holidays Printed Die Cuts, 46 pieces, right here. That's your interactive element. This is reminiscent, that's why it's called dancing, of all the dancing die cuts that we have. Let me show you an example. There are 2 past dancing die cuts. This one is called the Gifting Dancing Mouse. See how the legs move? This one is from the Dancing Halloween. Love this one. These 2 have been on sale, but these are die cuts that you put together. These are now printed die cuts of a lady carrying birthday gifts, flowers, on a rainy day. Here, this one is the holiday one, which is really Halloween, Thanksgiving, fall, and Christmas, okay? Now let me show you the fun with this. These sets of die cuts, they arrive like this, where you'll have full body, 2/3 body, 2/3 body. So these can layer exactly on top of each other. You can pop this one on top of this. There was a company a couple years ago, and I can't remember the name, but they would do their die cuts like this. Like you'd get 2 or 3 of the same exact thing. So when you made your card, you could stack them up and it would give great dimension and depth. Or you could make 3 cards. Now, if you wanted to keep the legs stationary, you could just glue this on top of this. If you wanted to have the dancing element, see, I'm just pulling a leg. It's like paper dolls, but interactive, fun, and pretty. You could do like this too. So some of my cards have the leg that swings, others don't. It's more stationary. And you could also just layer this on top of this and get that height dimension, okay? My example, I use this lovely cake. Isn't that fun? So fun. And these are nice die cuts too, you see? And the edges, I did not have to clean the edges. Notice how you don't see, so I guess it's a laser cut die cut, which is really nice. I don't have to use my 9-inch pro shears to clip off the little pieces. These are clean die cuts. I really like that because I don't like, especially going around something like this, taking off the little fray edges, okay? So this is another example. So I used one and now I still have another piece and another piece. So with each of these scenes, you're getting 3 opportunities, 3 cards. You can make like 12 cards already just with these ladies, or scrapbook, because look how big these are. 4 1/4 inch tall, 3 inches wide. Let's go with this one because this is my Mother's Day card. 4 1/2 inch, 2 1/4. So you're in that range. It does fit perfectly on an A2 card. And then you get all the little extra elements. Look at that beautiful rainbow cake. This is so pretty. And the boot. And there's a little bicycle. Sentiments, you're going to get doubles of. I always love that Spellbinders gives you that option as well. But you get 2 of each, okay? So this one is Dancing Watercolor Celebrations. These retail for $7.99, which is not a bad price point for high quality printed die cuts like this that you really don't have to go around it and all of this. This is, you see, nice. So I'm not just saying that just to say that. I'm like, oh, these are really nice. And you could put your foam pop dots and all the goodies there for height. Here is the holiday one. Look at Halloween. This was so much fun. Obviously, I used one. This one is 46 pieces. A Christmas one. I didn't use it. So you see how you get one full body and then you get two of the, I call it the 2/3 body or half body. Here is the fall one. I did use one of the fall as well. And I used a Christmas. So I made 3 cards for the holidays because I'll tell you right now, it was an absolute treat to make a Halloween card, a fall card, and a Christmas card. I know some people be like, Suzanne, is too early. It was such a refreshing break from all the spring, Easter, coming into summer type styles. It was just so much fun to come back into this. I had a ball. I won't lie. Right in here is where I was like happier than over that one. Yeah, maybe I need to start making Christmas cards from now. Not a bunch, just once in a while, just to break things up and explore because there were so many good Christmas items from last year. Oh my goodness. Starting from July, it was just one after the other. Fabulous, 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 fabulous. So it was nice to go back and revisit some of the goodies from the holidays. Here is some of the sentiments. I did use that one. And you notice I love this too because it has purple. Favorite color. Here are the legs. Look at the little legs. So you can mimic the same exact card right here. If you use this one and you still want another one, there are different fall legs, black tights, the green tights that she's wearing. And then again, more sentiments, doubles of the sentiments, okay? I did use the hello fall, hello beautiful, and then some other little elements. I didn't use too many of the elements though. I was more die cutting at that point, or putting on a sentiment, or playing with the backgrounds. I was having fun with backgrounds. Alrighty, crafters, now let's look at my examples. Alright, crafters, here are 2 A2 cards. This is the first card I made. Right here, you see how I popped up the whole image from the card base. Then I popped up one die cut on top of the other. This one is stationary. She's not moving. So that was my first card. Just feeling out the whole printed die cuts by putting this exactly on top of the full body. I got height and interest. So in the background, I'm using Spellbinders Glacier cardstock. Now here is Glacier again. But the Glacier here is with the Mirrored Arch Labels dies. And it's the largest one because this largest die is an A2, 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch. You notice how it's hitting all the edges. So this is a perfect A2. Glimmer background. Love this. This is the pattern that's on the wax seal box. I love this one. Geometric flower background. Sometimes it's a steal too for this glimmer background. It's fabulous. This is with white hammermill cardstock, cobalt blue hot for a roll, and then I ink blend on it. On top of it, if you notice it's not perfectly clear. I'm tilting now towards the sun. You see, I did splatter it with the white, but because it's all so many light colors, you really don't see it. But in person, you see the splatter? That's this. Splatter white is here. It does cover the line of the glimmer and also on top of the ink. So it is really opaque, high coverage. Love this. So I have that whole background, and then I put my die cut, the sentiment, make a wish. Now for my flowers to finish off this card, I'm using 2 sets. I'm starting to shop my flowers like this, where I'll do one from one pack and something else from some other pack. From the small die of the month, Rainbow Boot Boutique. This is back in February. These little flowers, I love these flowers. Look at them by itself. Then the greenery. This is way too big, so I come over here into mini blooms and sprigs. I believe it's this one. I have 4 packs of mini blooms and sprigs here. This goes on sale a lot. That's the best time to buy it. And then that's it. And finish it off with some pink gems from Spellbinders. Love the pink gems. It's so pretty. So this makes for quick card making. Summer is coming. You have your teen at home and you want to do a little crafting together. Don't call it crafting. Just let's make a card. This is a nice one also to host a crop with. If you have a non-crafter coming over and you want to introduce them to crafting, I would always say start off easy, don't go in overwhelming. Putting together something like this, that's overwhelming. You're like, let's take out the embossing folder, huh? Let's take out this, let's take out that. It's too much. Baby steps. So the baby steps would be something like this. And you could have your background ready. That's a nice way of making it accessible in the beginning for someone. So I like this for fast crafting and also maybe put together a little kit for somebody to craft with. This is a nice set because it's very pretty too. All right, card number 2 now. Notice I went from blue to blue. This is the interactive element. See the little leg swinging? Why is the leg stopping here? Because I put 2 little pop dots here because I had so much motion. She was going to go all the way up to here. For my interactive leg, I'm using a new product which I am so loving. I have been talking about this scrapbook.com adhesive, now in 3 sizes. Their standard size before was 2 millimeter. They introduced a low profile, 1 millimeter. This is the 3 millimeter, so it is thicker. Small 3D foam rounds. One of the rounds fits this perfectly. They also have this version, too big. This could probably work the die cut versions because these have a bigger circle. The circle out of this is roughly like that. So this is too big for that. I like the 3 millimeter for both. It gave enough height and enough room for this to swing. Just get 1 pack of this and you are good for all these printed elements. I mean, there's hundreds in this one. So here I'm using the one with the flower, little leg swings. In the background, I have navy cardstock, one of my favorite foundation dies, essential modern ovals, partly cloudy cardstock. Then this cardstock, this is from Paper Rose. Now, Spellbinders had sent me some Paper Rose. This is called the Candy Kisses Basics. There is the pattern, okay? This is a 12 by 12 paper pack. So Spellbinders is now getting into scrapbooking as well. So you can check out all these fabulous brands there. Rose's Studios Heartfelt Collection, Simple Stories, Doodlebug, and Paper Rose. There are a lot of collections of Paper Rose. So this one is Candy Kisses. I was sent this and the 6 by 6 paper pack. I went ahead and purchased this also from Spellbinders, the Candy Kisses 12 by 12 paper pack. Okay, it has a Valentine's theme to it, but I still love, look at these cups, the storefront, and it's just so pretty. So I have that. I also got this too, the embossed die cuts. This one now, I believe, will have the little edges that I'm going to have to run my scissors through. But that's the pattern I'm using here. So this is from the Candy Kisses Basics. I'll just put a link for Paper Rose Candy Kisses and you can check out all these pieces. It matches this perfectly with the polka dots and the stripes, right? Happy Mother's Day. This is from Yana's Let's Celebrate Sentiments. Better press. You get 4 sentiments. Happy Mother's Day, happy anniversary, happy birthday wishes, let's celebrate. All of these come with the coordinating die. This one is better pressed. Normally I show this glimmered, but this time I do have it pressed out. Porcelain cotton card with black better press ink. And then you also get these sentiments. So that's card number 2. I did put some green gems up here just to add a little sparkle. Up next, crafters, the holiday. So happy here because I have not done these kind of cards in a while. Halloween and fall are both shaped cards, and then Christmas. So let's start off with my favorite, Halloween. And she is interactive, very little movement because of where she is in this card that I just kept on going with. I was having a ball with it. All right, crafters, I have a few items in this card. I just wanted to show you something real quick. You see how tall the die cut really is? 5 inches tall by 2 1/4 inch wide, okay? When I looked at this, I liked it. I didn't love it. I'll tell you why. Because of the pumpkin head being so big and the body is now so small, because of Halloween, it's exaggerated. Just like in the April Kit Club video, where I took the sentiment and I said, once I angled it up, it looked like fabric ribbon flowing. In this case, when I look at this printed die cut from here up, she looks to me like a Tim Burton style. In true Tim Burton style, she wouldn't be like this. She'd be like that. That's why she looks like that. And the more I shrunk her down, then she looked better to me like this. But that's the beauty of it. You can play. So up here was following this. You could even make her legs even longer if you wish, if you wanted to go like that. When I came down like this, to me, this just looked so cool. And so I just stuck with that. That's what she is here. So my pop dot is way up here. And it still works. Around the pop dot, then I have also the 3mm foam in either the circles or the squares or something. So I just wanted to show you that little thing. Like, you don't have to always stick with what's here. Play. Just go, oh, and shrink it down a little bit more. You see how it looks? It reminds me of the Queen of Hearts. Wasn't she the Queen of Hearts or the Red Queen in Alice in Wonderland? You remember with the head and the little body? I like that. So I did my Tim Burton Halloween girl in purple with the little legs. I think she's just so adorable. So after I did that, everything else was like around how she looks now. And because she's a pumpkin, I decided to make my little own pumpkin patch. But I needed to house it in because this one I was feeling a scene. You see here, it's not a scene. It's more just the die cuts. You can tell I was happy to play with Halloween. So now it became a scene. To create my scene, one of the best dies for that. Essential Arches, love Essential Arches, 16 dies. She goes on sale often. Largest die is an A2, 4 1/4, 5.5 inch. Then the sister that was introduced this year, love these two together. Make-A-Wish Arch Labels. This is 7 dies, has this great scallop detail on the bottom, all these little interesting dashes like fluted classics. That's why I love this one and I love these two together. This is a top folding A2 card. I put a little score line back here, 1/2 inch. I cut it twice in black cardstock. Then I took one of the dies in here, probably this one or the second one, and made a frame. This is the first time I'm using this like this. Because I made a frame, I could put acetate across here and turn it into a shaker. Didn't want to do it as a shaker though, with this element, with the moving and everything. If I wanted to turn it into a shaker with the die cut, I would have done a shaker, put her on the outside, on top of the acetate. That's something to consider, but she'd be cute that way too. I then use some scrapbook.com 1/8 of an inch foam strips. I used the 3mm, so I do have height. It looks black here because I had to use a Sharpie to color it. But it was white. I don't have thin strips of black foam. I need to find some. And I went all the way around and created this. And then in the background, I went into one of my favorites. Love this background. This is the Better Press Spiderweb background. I loved it when it first introduced. And once I got to use it again, I was like, hey, old friend. So I inked up my old friend in black Better Press ink. And this is on Pebble cotton card, which is a gray cotton card. After I set my little girl, because she is facing this way, so that's why she's over to the right. I also came into my collection, which is Build-A-Wreath dies. I use some of the wreath building elements. I didn't use the twigs though. You would have thought I would have used the twigs, but I ended up using the pine. And also this one across the top to create that arch. Then I came on with my Halloween wreath add-on. So love. I have 4 bats here. So I have my bats in some black and silver glitter cardstock. I was going to use my pumpkin, but my pumpkin was just way too big and has a face cut out, and she already has her face. This is from the Country Road collection. Love this set. The whole thing goes on sale from time to time. It's a fabulous collection. I took these elements here. It even has this one too. Perfect for Halloween, but you could use this all year round too. It's just so fabulous. There's a wagon and all sorts of goodies with this collection. So I'll link the collection. This goes on sale often, so you can also put this in your wish list. My collection has been going on sale too, so you can put that in your wish list. And it looks like I cut these two, ink them up, put the little tops on, the little squiggle to bring you back to the die cut. I put the sentiment out here. And there is my card. Look how much I shopped my stash. I was like, oh, Halloween, yay. So I had a ball with this. Finished it off with some silver mixed gems. The silver solid part in the smaller sizes. So you see it peaking, not much, but it is there. Yes, love, 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 love. This one is more straightforward, but this embossing folder. Crafters, have we talked about this embossing folder? It is a combination of like a woven basket and huge sunflowers. The only thing, it's not an oversized embossing folder. It's a slimline embossing folder. I wish this was like full size because it is so good. Look at those flowers. This is a 3D embossing folder though. It's just so fabulous. I die cut it out in black and it's called Basket of Sunflowers. 3.5-inch wide. And it looks like 8.5-inch tall. But you would use a universal plate system to cut this because it is a 3D embossing folder. In the background, I am using Make-A-Wish arch labels, again for the scallop, and Essential Arches for this die cut piece. Just pulled one that was closest to this. I maximized what was here. So I probably used coming on into one of these to die cut that out. And because I have it black on top of black, it doesn't look so far apart. This is roughly 3/8 of an inch on each side. So there is quite a bit of space, but not that much. Again, that 1/2 inch score line to create the card. This is another top folding card. And she is interactive. See how I stopped her legs? That means I have a piece of adhesive here and here. If I did not put the adhesive, her legs were going up here. It was a full swing. So these pop dots, they work very well. That's why I'm showing you it, because I was like, oh, these are working well. Look at that. And I popped up here on the sides just to stop the rotation because it was just free reign. She would just keep going. So these are fabulous. But if you are going to use it, get the 3mm, get the height, because you want the height to have the clearance to get the move. If you get it too low, it's going to be like, it won't move. But this, she's interactive. If you have a little crop and they make a card and then all of a sudden they get to do this, oh, it's just so gratifying. It's like, oh, this is fun. Or if you just want to play, make a bunch of cards. You get a lot of cards out of these 2 packs too. Let's talk about the splatter. This is the Yasutomo reddish gold that's now back in stock. Look at that color. Thank goodness it's still daytime so you can now see it. See how it has a fall feel? If you want it to be more of a gold color, then you're coming into this one, the pale gold. If you love silver like I do, I bought all 3. I actually saw Yana talk about this in a video. She showed it on navy cardstock and I was like, oh, that's pretty. And I do have metallic watercolor, but look how this covers. And look how it's so fine with the detail too. As you can see, I've only put water right here. I've not touched all of this going on. So there's a lot of product in here. And I'm using it now. So I'm taking the time to show you it's a good one. She does have a higher price point. I'm not going to lie. But you are getting a big pot. This will last you a long time. It's a ceramic pot too. I like the coverage. Instead of buying all the metallic watercolors that I have been buying, which probably is well over this cost, just make the one cost and I'm done. And that's why I bought all 3 colors, because I really like the coverage. Same thing with this. It is solid. I have a few different white watercolor. And once you put it on ink background, it shows through. This doesn't. So it is worth it. Definitely worth it. And I love this. So there is the reddish gold. Finished it off with some gems from my stash. Glitter stickers in the center of my sunflowers. Put the sentiment, happy fall. See how this is popped up off of this? That's the 1mm foam. See how it's not that high, but down here it's much higher from the card base. 3mm, 1mm. I'm loving that. It's its own little adhesive system that I've just been reaching for. It's all in one. I don't have to reach for 4 or 5 different brands. I'm just like super happy with the all-in-one thing. This is an A6 card, 4.5, 6.25 inch, okay? So this one is my Christmas card, and I was going to do the interactive element. I decided not to. I did pop it up. You see how many layers are going on here? This is popped up off of the base. This is 1mm popped off of there. This is 2mm popped off of. So I have the full girl with the tree, then her half with the tree popped up. These 2 are the non-moving elements. All it is just taking the solid and popping up one on top. Both of them are the same exact thing, just different themes. So this one now, when I had the tree, I remember I did not get to use to its full potential. This is the 3D embossing folder of the month, Flowering Christmas Tree Burst. Look at this. Oversized embossing folder 3D. This is on Spellbinders forest cardstock, their green cardstock. Because it's darker, it's more subtle. I'm not using essential modern ovals, but I'm using essential stylish ovals. And I like to keep my foundation dies like this in a scrapbook.com storage envelope, okay? It can hold a lot of them. See how many of them I have in here? These two are sort of like this, and why I say sort of, these two work perfectly together. These two have the same oval shapes. This one is thin like a capsule. This one is wider. They don't mix and match. If you're going to have this, sometimes you may need this because of what you're doing. I went wider because she is wider with the tree at that angle. And this goes on sale, so does this. So it's like, yeah, both of them, win-win. In the back here, this is Spellbinders Brush Gold cardstock. I took the forest cardstock and cut it again with the next size over. And on this one, you're seeing a different splatter. You're now seeing Yasutomo silver and gold. Just to give me a little bit of a scene like snow, but not white snow. So let's compare. Little difference in them. This one has a hint more red. That's why it's called reddish gold. And the tree was so big. This one I came in with stickles. You see the stickles on some of the branches? So when you have die cut pieces that are like this big, you just want to add a little something to it. It's always good to bring in stickles, glossy accent. The Sentiment, one of my favorites. Love, love, love. The Snow Garden Sentiments hot foil plate. That Merry Christmas. Here it is, black cardstock, matte gold hot foil roll, which picks up so well with the brush gold. When I did the golden gold, that's why I did the gold splatter too. Here, I finished it off with some opal gems. The opal gems is looking like snow. Having fun. You can tell. Anytime I start to do these little extra touches, you don't even notice, but I do, I'm having fun. Okay, crafters, so here are my 5 cards for the Dancin Watercolor Celebration Collection. You have the all year round winners. You could do birthdays, any celebratory here, and then fall celebrations as well, including Halloween. Love! And remember, some things are back in stock. I will detail and link everything below, including these little foam rounds, which worked so well with this little interactive element, even right here on my Tim Burton pumpkin. Alrighty, crafters, until the next video, stay crafty, my friends. Enjoy your weekend.